End of the petrodollar era, a new economic reality. The expiration of the long-standing petrodollar agreement between Saudi Arabia and the United States on June 9, 2024, marks a crucial turning point in global economics. While it may seem like just another economic maneuver, this development has the potential to reshape the entire landscape. But what was this agreement established 50 years ago? In the early 1970s, the United States approached Saudi Arabia with a proposition: sell your oil exclusively for US dollars, and in return, we will provide security, advanced weaponry, and access to technology. After careful deliberation, the Saudis ultimately agreed. Thus, in 1974, the iconic petrodollar system was born, linking Saudi oil sales directly to the US dollar. To buy oil, one had to first purchase dollars. When the term currency comes to mind, many people immediately think of the US dollar, which today stands as the universal symbol of money. However, this hasn't always been the case. For example, from 1720 to 1815, the French livre served as the reserve currency, while the British pound sterling held that honor from 1815 to 1920. The dominance of the dollar is a result of historical and economic shifts that have unfolded over the decades. In 1944, nations signed the Bretton Woods Agreement, tethering the global financial system to the dollar instead of gold. This arrangement was not merely to bolster America's growth. After World War II, the U.S. emerged as the only stable superpower with a robust economy. The stability the U.S. provided was crucial for countries needing to rebuild their economies. The U.S. banking system became the most stable, leading nations like Japan, China, and the United Kingdom to invest heavily in U.S. assets, totaling between $7 and $8 trillion. Additionally, the U.S. solidified its superpower status by controlling global energy resources. In 1971, the U.S. made the unilateral decision to print money without a gold standard. Prior to this, the dollar's value was still tied to gold. However, the U.S. lacked enough gold to back all the dollars it printed. Had every dollar holder sought to exchange their bills for gold, the U.S. would have been unable to meet those demands. A pivotal moment occurred in 1965 involving Charles de Gaulle, the then president of France. He opposed dollar dominance and demanded that President Lyndon Johnson exchange $1.5 billion held by France's National Bank for gold at a rate of $35 per ounce. This demand amounted to approximately 16.5 tons of gold, nearly 3% of the U.S. gold reserves, which surely stirred concern in Washington. In the 1970s, the U.S. decided it could operate without gold altogether, abandoning the gold standard and giving rise to a floating exchange rate system dominated by the U.S. dollar. However, this decision had unfortunate repercussions. President Richard Nixon announced that no one could convert dollars to gold, casting doubt on the dollar's value as the economy stagnated and inflation surged. Oil-producing countries, particularly OPEC members, grew increasingly concerned, especially following the Arab-Israeli War, which heightened tensions due to Western support for Israel. OPEC responded by raising oil prices by 70% and imposing an embargo on exports to the U.S., leading to the oil crisis of the 1970s. Nixon urged citizens to conserve fuel, and airlines cut flights due to skyrocketing costs, forcing the U.S. to take drastic measures. Returning to the earlier agreement between the U.S. and Saudi Arabia, it became a key factor in overcoming the oil crisis. As the Arabic saying goes, the wind blows where it wills. The sands of time hint at a strengthening bond between Saudi Arabia and America, establishing them as a formidable alliance on the world stage. Moreover, recent reports indicate that Saudi Arabia has joined a project led by China's central bank to create a digital currency, which could significantly reduce the volume of global oil trade conducted in U.S. dollars. This is not merely a concept. The project is already in the minimal viable product stage, suggesting that the technology is operational. Importantly, the Saudis are not the first to pursue such moves. The shift away from dollar-denominated international trade appears to be gaining momentum. For instance, China and Russia have nearly completely abandoned the dollar, conducting over 90% of their mutual transactions in national currencies. A U.S. congressman recently remarked in a podcast that they can continue this as long as the world uses their currency, but that won't last forever. Furthermore, sanctions imposed by the US have pushed countries closer to de-dollarization. The BRICS alliance has launched its payment system, BRICS Bridge, which is still under development but shows promising prospects. This alliance aims to create a payment system based on digital currencies and blockchain technology, ensuring that transactions are secure and anonymous. Such a system would significantly reduce the influence of other nations, particularly the US, on international transactions. 2021 and 2023, the share of the ruble in payments for Russian exports nearly tripled to 39%. Foreign partners and I will continue to enhance the use of national currencies in foreign trade settlements, aiming to improve security and efficiency, free from political pressure and external sanctions. Amid all this news, it's clear why Saudi Arabia is keen to join BRICS. Though not officially a member yet, they are actively participating in meetings. Russian Deputy Foreign Minister Sergei Ryabkov has noted that they are working alongside all members to implement the BRICS plan, which aims to reshape the global financial system, increasing the influence of developing nations and improving their access to international financial institutions. The current dollar system places every country under U.S. control, which serves as a major motivation for BRICS. Establishing an independent payment system is a crucial step for all alliance members. Furthermore, BRICS countries continue to advocate for Palestinian statehood in their ongoing conflict with Israel. Look at this map. The countries in green recognize Palestinian statehood. Approximately 88% of the world's population lives in these areas, and most of these countries support the expansion and growth of BRICS. The war in Gaza has become the latest political issue dividing the United States and BRICS. The U.S. consistently supports Israel, while BRICS advocates for Palestinian statehood, representing the wishes of the majority of the global population. Additionally, the BRICS alliance plans to abolish U.S. sanctions. All ministers of the alliance collectively express that unilateral Western sanctions are incompatible with the principles of the UN Charter and negatively impact economic growth, trade, energy, healthcare, and food security, particularly in developing countries. As a result, the prospect of a multipolar world is increasingly appealing to many nations, as most desire economic freedom, which includes freedom from dollar dominance. The U.S. is certainly feeling the effects of its diminishing financial hegemony. But is the American economy solely reliant on the demand for its currency? What true value does the U.S. hold in the global economy? Let's compare it to other nations. China is known as the world's factory, producing and exporting nearly everything. Germany is renowned for its engineering and high-quality manufacturing, with brands like BMW, Porsche, and Mercedes. Japan excels in exporting electronics and automobiles, led by companies such as Toyota and Honda. South Korea is recognized for its semiconductors, Samsung gadgets, and premium skincare products. Saudi Arabia stands out for its oil, being one of the largest crude oil exporters globally. Russia boasts abundant natural resources, including gas, oil, coal, and various minerals. Brazil excels in agriculture, ranking among the top exporters of soybeans, coffee, sugar, and beef. India is a key player in software, technology, and pharmaceuticals. Australia leads in iron ore and coal exports due to its rich natural resources, while Canada is a significant exporter of timber and minerals. France and Italy shine in the luxury goods sector, with iconic brands like Ferragamo, Lamborghini, and Bonomi. And what does the United States excel in? Hollywood, chocolate bars, and military equipment. The U.S. produces a vast array of goods consumed globally, including culture and technology. Perhaps the largest export of the U.S. is the dollar itself, which sustains its economy. When your currency is in demand globally, your economy thrives. The petrodollar system has created worldwide demand for U.S. dollars and treasury bonds, fueling American economic growth. It has also led to stability, lower interest rates, and liquidity in financial markets. However, without the ability to export dollars, this system could falter. The U.S. economy resembles a balloon. When problems arise, the government inflates it with money. However, this approach inevitably leads to inflation. If they continue to pump money into the economy, the balloon may burst, resulting in an economic collapse where consumers can no longer afford goods. So, why hasn't this happened to America? They have a release valve, allowing them to relieve pressure by circulating dollars globally, because they know the the world needs this currency to purchase energy. This system works until the valve malfunctions. What if the world no longer requires such a vast outflow of dollars? The balloon would simply burst. This is why BRICS is crucial. By pushing back against dollar dominance, it empowers nations to control their finances. As the world shifts from dollar dependence to a more multipolar system, the financial implications could be profound. The days of unquestioned dollar supremacy may be numbered, and that spells trouble for the U.S. economy. In summary, the end of the petrodollar era represents a seismic shift in the global economic landscape. With the emergence of alternative currencies and the push for a multipolar financial system, the implications for the US and the world could be monumental. Thank you for watching this video. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe for more content.